Episode 6. Word is, Blackbush Station sorely undermanned. The stone torches there can't get a moment's peace. Bloke by the name of Warren is hoping to bolster their numbers for a short-term assignment or two. If you fancy putting a few extra gil in your pocket, you could do a lot worse. Gear makes you stronger. Speaking of, I guess we can look into equipping the at-level gear. But I kind of hate this look. So we're going to go with the base gear. We will change out our weapon though. Ah, this is two-handed. I see the stance is the same. Again, thaumaturges / black mages wielding one-handed weapons is more of a relic of the game design. They were allowed to equip shields in the offhand during A Realm Reborn, but anything after level 50 will all use two-handed weapons like this. I believe the only class using a offhand weapon would be the Paladin, but that offhand slot is pretty much reserved for shields only, unless you're doing crafting or gathering classes. Looking for work, perchance? If so, you couldn't have come at a better time. We stone torches are sellswords hired by Amagina & Sons Mineral Concern to protect its interests. Our primary duty here is to keep the tracks clear of pests, and it is for this purpose that we require your aid. I should point out, however, that it can be messy work, and liable to get messier if you're still ill-prepared. A single piece of gear can mean the difference between life and death. I'll not have it on my conscience that I sent an ill-equipped adventurer to an untimely demise. See to it that your arms and armor are in order. When you are ready, present yourself to me again. Level 5 gear, of course. That's why they give you the gear tutorial right before this. Well, what we can do is equip that gear and I see. The wristbands are already level 5, so we had no need to worry about. Wait. I see, I was only missing the hat then. In that case, we can just do this and meet the requirements for the quest. So, are you ready for inspection? Good. Everything appears to be in order. Your hat is spectacular. Yet know that not is guaranteed in this world. Fate is a fickle mistress, after all. At any rate, capable adventurers like you are few and far between, and I would not have you throw your life away. I have had to bury too many comrades who brushed aside cracks in their hauberks and dints in their helms. No matter what you face, do not disregard the importance of gear. We'll go for the money instead of the gear. And immediately, we'll get rid of our life-saving hat. Let's get to it then, shall we? Ore wagons pass through this station every day, but not without incident. Wagons coming and going from the dispatch yard to the south must pass through a tunnel by Fesca's watch. A tunnel in which some genius saw fit to put an ore storehouse, creating an ideal condition for a goblin nest. So now the ore-loving beasts have taken up residence in a tunnel we dug, and we're practically delivering meals to their doorstep. But no more. Inside the tunnel in question you will find a narrow fissure where the goblins hide. Use this silver ore cluster to lure out the creatures, then slay them. The same tunnel we were already at. Porters port you on Chocobo back. Well met, traveler. Might I interest you in a Chocobo porter? Do not tell me this is your first visit to this stop. I shall update my register with your name, so that you may access this location in the future. Until I can actually use teleportation, this might be the best way to travel around, but we're staying out in this area for now. Although it sure is quite the sight to see at night. It feels a lot smaller when you're flying around, but they did say, what, around 10,000 would attend the Coliseum matches? If 10,000 would attend the matches at one time, then surely the population is at least, I don't know, 100,000 or 200,000. It certainly doesn't seem that size, but perhaps the representation in-game doesn't capture what it actually is and more. Well done. It shan't be easy work to keep the tunnel free of goblins, but our wagons should be able to go unmolested for a time. Disruptions to ore shipments threaten not only the interests of Almagina and Sons mineral concern, but all of Ul'dah herself. One might liken these train tracks to veins that bear our nation's lifeblood. If only we had more women like you to lend a hand. We'll take the staff. And again, another quest disconnected from the last one. I guess the main story just progresses by talking to the closest person after you've finished a previous quest. Ah, the altruistic adventurer. I was hoping we'd bump into each other. Why? Because the most fascinating piece of news recently reached my ears, and I'm eager to share it. May I? Rumor has it that there is a vast, untapped vein of ore beneath the ruins of Silde. But that is not all. Inconceivably, the concern appears to be entirely ignorant of its existence. And even as we speak, a young upstart, a self-made merchant from Stone's Throw of all places, is moving to claim it. The fellow's name is Whiston, and he is a very, very ambitious young man. Not only does he intend to secure exclusive excavation rights, but they say his master plan is to use his new fortune to curry favor with this aquarium. Of course, the thaumaturges only consider the opinions of the most wealthy when drafting the laws of Ul'dah. If you would have your voice heard, you must be prepared to pay a sultan's ransom. One voice which is invariably heard belongs to Lord Lolorito. He has long lavished gil upon the thaumaturges, and some claim that he devises new laws with the express intention of ruining his competitors while protecting his own interests. Suffice it to say, if Whiston thinks he can compete with the likes of the Syndicate, he's in for a rude awakening. But that eventuality may yet be a little way off. For the present, he is moving ahead with his plans, and assembling a team to survey the site. I'm told he's at the Coffer and Coffin right now, recruiting able-bodied adventurers to escort his prospectors. Warren said you were looking for work. Mayhap you should meet Whiston and volunteer for his expedition. I think Komori is all for a get-rich-quick scheme. Anything to get more gil. And before I forget, I should attune to the Aetherite, even if I don't have teleportation yet. Did I? You unlock teleport after you get your second Aetherite. I see. I thought it was main quest related. Well, I guess I shot myself in the foot not getting that earlier. So now if I wanted to, yes, I can teleport. Well, the main quest will take us all over Ul'dah naturally. So we'll get those Aetherites when we get to them. Come to join? Sorry, but you're too late. Some brass blades looking for extra coin volunteered, and the team's already en route to the ruins. But look, I know it's not easy to find work these days. If you're interested, there's something else you can do for me. There are children outside, little ones from Stone's Throw. I look after them when I've got time to spare. So they've taken to following me around, even when I tell them not to. But what with overseeing the search for the vein, I barely have a chance to visit the privy at the moment, much less entertain younglings. Can you give them these ginger cookies and convince them to go home for me? These are children. I guess there's no specific model for a Lalafell child. He's taller than I am. Whiston's kind to us. I like him. This is for me. I want to eat it, but then again I don't, because then it'd be gone. Tell Whiston thanks, and tell him I'm sorry for getting in the way. But Whiston always plays with us. Why won't he come out and play? Wow, a ginger cookie. I'd better save some for my brother. I know. I'll go home and eat it with him. Just toss it up to him. I like playing with Whiston. He makes sure no one bullies us. Whiston's worried about us. Oh, I don't want to make him worried. I'm a good girl, so I'll go home. I ain't going nowhere, missus. I'm too hungry to move, besides, so you'll have to carry me. A cookie? Well, if Whiston really wants me to go home, then all right. But I want to next time. I like your moxie. Thank you, adventurer. I only wish I could do more. Stone's Throw is no place for a child. Not that my childhood was much happier. Never enough food to go around nor work to earn it, but no shortage of contempt from the great and the good. I remember thinking things could only get better, yet now, after the calamity and everything else, for us refugees to be forced to live outside the gates like bloody beastmen is a disgrace. They say with enough money you can change the laws here, so I'm going to make a fortune and do just that. I'll buy the excavation rights and start my own mining business. Then I'll give my fellow refugees the work they're crying out for, and pay them fairly. The mining companies have profited from our suffering for too long, but in their hubris, they've grown complacent, presenting us with a golden opportunity. And we will take it, adventurer. We will reclaim our dignity, and with it, our place within those walls. We found her. We found the vein. Whiston, you must come and see it. Already? Amazing. We leave at once. You should join me, friend. Come and bear witness to history in the making. Well, this better be part of a job. One of the strange things about an MMO like this, or any open world game, is that quests can usually be done at any time during the day or the night. This doesn't feel like the right time of day for this quest, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I'd prefer to do all my quests in the daytime, but since this is an online game, I have no control over that other than waiting. All's balls, son. A vein of ore in the middle of a ruined, bloody city? God's damned idiot. What did you think was gonna happen? That you'd strike it rich and get cozy with the Order, while the masters of Uldal looked on? No one crosses the Syndicate. The Syndicate? Huh. Finally sunk in, has it? Well, look at this. Not all your friends have deserted you, it seems. Lucky boy. Now you won't have to die alone. O mournful voice of creation, grant ye this humble stone a soul, that it may wake to life. Who spawned that gibberish? Show yourself. This ain't part of the plan. Bloody hells, does Lord Lolorito mean to kill us too? Shot myself in the foot with this lock on. That the golem could be vanquished. That woman is no ordinary adventurer. Damn, seems I've missed all the fun. I see you didn't need my help this time. I would compose a ballad in your honor, but I fear no words would do you justice. The songstress of Ul'dah herself could not rival your beauty. Oh, stop it. I have oft heard it said that a blossom's beauty can move a man to love and long, but I never truly believed it until I met you two desert roses. I hear they attacked another caravan. Aye, and business is suffering for it. Bloody Amalja. What stirred him up, do you reckon? Another raid. And I'll wager that caravan was carrying crystals, much like the last. If they truly mean to summon a primal, we must act quickly. Are you coming, love? You wouldn't keep a girl waiting, would you? Perish the thought. So tell me, where in this marvel of a city might you lovely ladies be staying? At this rate, grain will soon be more precious than gold. A result of the uncommonly bad harvest, to be sure. And we have you to thank for them, do we not? Aye, this weakening of the etheric flow must surely be linked to Dalamud's descent. And of course, to the primals. A fine mess, but we must not lose hope. Louis Soir will know what to do. We need only trust in his judgment. Truly a marvel of Charlian ingenuity. It's as if I could reach out and touch the aether. Time to focus. No more gallivanting about like before. The Scions are counting on you. Have faith. Just have faith. You can do this. The disturbance is recent. The Sultanry? Maybe Papashan will know something of it. Looks like they gave you quite a thrashing. Can you walk? It's me. I was too late. Our person of interest had already quit the scene. The General? Very well. I shall be there anon. My colleagues went to great lengths to provide me with the means to detect etheric disturbances. But every time I find one, you seem to be in the middle of it. I'm starting to wonder if it might not be simpler to just follow you around. Sadly, I have business elsewhere. Tread softly, my friend. The carefully laid trap you dismantled was clearly sanctioned by Lord Lolorito. I heard the Blades mention him as they fled. Believe me when I tell you that he is not a man to be trifled with. The Sultana's enemies grow bolder by the day, and I suspect they have the support of outside forces. Thank you. If you hadn't come along, those bastards would surely have slaughtered us all. I would speak with you further, but it isn't safe for us to linger here. Find me at the Coffer and Coffin later. Until then, stay safe. I shall accompany Whiston and his men. They need protection, and I need more information. Ah, but where are my manners? I have yet to properly introduce myself. I am Thancred, a humble scholar surveying the flow of ether in Sanlan. It is an honor and a privilege to make your acquaintance. I hope when next we meet, it is under more auspicious circumstances. Ah, wait a moment. It occurs to me that we may have... Never mind. Fare thee well. It's interesting the way the plot between the bigger bad guys and the smaller elements of Ul'dah intersect in these early quests. 12 bless you, my friend. You risked your life to save ours. Betrayed by my own guards. Gods, I was a fool to trust those men. Olorito owns the goddamn brass blades. I should have questioned their motives from the start. Even so, I could hardly have predicted the wealthiest man in Ul'dah would want me dead for the heinous crime of seeking to change the law. I'm just a merchant, for God's sake. That ruthless bastard. And what of that monstrosity? Those were his own men. It beggars belief. Well, that's it. I'm finished. If I stay in Ul'dah any longer, I'm as good as dead. My associates, my friends, gods, even the children may not be safe if I don't disappear. And you. Gods damn it, if Lolorito learns of your involvement, you'll be next. I'll speak with the others and make sure your part in this stays secret. Beyond that, I don't know what to suggest. Maybe you should seek the counsel of Mistress Momodi. She's helped countless adventurers in her time. Mayhap she'll know what to do. Go quickly now, my friend. Lolorito's spies may be watching. With that quest completed, I think we're back on the track to continue the actual important stuff after talking to Momodi. We'll wrap up the few quests that we have completed here and make sure that we're at the right level for the Black Mage. You have the satisfied look of a mage who has utterly vanquished her foes. Komori, I formally welcome you into the Brotherhood of Thaumaturges. The purpose of this trial was to gauge your capacity for wielding thaumaturgy, an innate quality, the limits of which are bound by the level of etheric energy flowing through your physical being. Aether, the very stuff of life, exists within all creatures to a greater or lesser extent. Remember this, for it is the most basic law of arcane manipulation. As your experience grows, so shall your reserves of thaumaturgical endurance. The wellspring of your magical might will also swell in response to moments of extreme terror and duress. When you find yourself seeking greater challenge, when next you crave the thrill of exquisite fear, that is when you shall know that time has come for you to visit me once more. And the ability we unlocked is like Blizzard, but more MP cost. What good is this? It does less damage for more MP. It takes longer to cast. I guess you could No, I don't see how this is useful. Does it give more MP? Oh, this is AoE, of course, obviously. Your burgeoning power strains against the confines of your untried mortal shell. Another trial you must have. From this day forth, your tasks and challenges will be shaped by the teachings found within thaumaturgy, the Yawning Abyss, a tome penned by the renowned thaumaturge Zozomaya. My brothers, who have not once tasted the bitter draught of defeat, will instruct you on the vital lessons to be gleaned from the 4 extensive chapters that comprise this exemplary work. Much shall you learn about the threats with which a practitioner of our art must contend. The first chapter, The Threat of Intimacy, falls within Kokobigo's purview. It is only fitting that one so averse to being approached should teach you the wisdom to be uncovered therein. Yes, Komori. I've been expecting you. Allow me to read you the pertinent passages of the opening chapter to Zozomaya's Guide. Ahem. The Threat of Intimacy. How magnificent the potent power we yield. Roaring flames, piercing ice, and shocking bolts are matched not by fist or sword or spear. But the burly warrior waxes fearsome with every closing step. Fists shatter bone, blades slice through flesh. Spears puncture soft bellies. Know you this threat, and stand you apart from such men. Ugh. That last part makes me queasy no matter how often I recite it. The lesson, however, should be obvious. Keep your distance from your foes. Apart from the agony of being hit, or stabbed, or worse, you'll have a devil of a time completing an incantation, with the enemy flailing his weapons at your person. Thus, the wise thaumaturge always strikes from afar, the farther the better. Now let us proceed with your trial. Take this dried fish and set it down in the vicinity of the silver bazaar. Next, simply draw back to a comfortable distance and wait for a vulture to swoop in to feed. That's when you ambush the nasty creature with a barrage of deadly spells. Once you have slain the scavenger, be sure to retrieve a generous slice of vulture meat for Fafafono. He doesn't mind us conducting trials so close to his shop, so long as he's properly compensated. Yes, Komori, we pay him in sorcery-blasted bird flesh. In the middle of town. Oh, way out there. We'll handle that later. Back already, are you? Come, let us see what you've brought. Exceptional. These are fine true pelts indeed. Well done, my friend. The Pugilist Guild is among my largest clients. I fear what would have come to pass had this order been delayed any longer. Take this, You've more than earned it. We definitely kept that guy waiting, but he didn't seem too unpleased. Do we need to repair anything? I think we're fine. Settle down, Komori. You've got nothing to worry about. No one seems to know you were at the ruins. Whiston, on the other hand, is now a pariah, about as welcome round here as a rabid wolf. Poor bugger. Suffice to say that boy risked the wrath of the wrong man. Lord Lolorito, chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company, generous contributor to the Order of Naldal, and member of the Syndicate. Didn't get where he is by leaving loose ends, that one. Which is why he ain't above killing his own men. Else, if those blades knew what was coming, it's not like they could refuse to do their benefactor's bidding. Don't let this color your view of Ul'dah, Komori. It's true that there are some here who aren't afraid to crack a few skulls, if it gets them what they want. But most of us are decent folk, just trying to make ends meet. You know, a lot of people would call you a damn fool for risking your life to save a marked man. But I believe you did a good thing, Komori, and for that you have my respect. Listen, you've been through a lot lately. Why don't you rest a spell? I'll have the boys at the Hourglass set you up with a room, my treat. Just have a word with Otopa Potopa whenever you feel like staying. And we finally unlocked a bed to sleep on. And when you've got your appetite for adventuring back, consider taking on a guild leave or two. We've a lot of requests from locals looking to hire adventurers for various jobs. It'd be a good way to earn yourself some extra gil. Eustace can tell you more about how the system works, so go and speak with him if you're interested. I have to admit I don't really know how guild leaves work. They're probably a good way to get experience if you don't follow the main quest strictly. Recommendations. Recommend things to you that are good for your level and class. I think we'll retire at the inn once we're done with this session. But for the episode currently, I think we'll go on a little bit longer. Or rather, we'll end the episode now and keep the session going on a little bit longer. So for now, we'll take a break.